Once you're 6.
Pardon me?
Well, we are married. So
Did you just say you wanted my sex?
Yeah, I did. I did say that.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. The things that you'll say when
Why are you so loud? Oh my God.
I'm always loud. I have a loud voice. What? Now you're going to complain?
No, it's just
I'm too hot.
Yeah.
Now I'm too hot. I see how this works. All right. Well, all I can say is you got to have faith, baby. Faith, faith, faith.
Hi, this is Brian White. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 41 of Celebrity Soul Speak with Brian and Renee. Conversations from the other side. George Michael. My wife Renee is a spirit communicator. She speaks to those on the other side, and I've been a radio personality for over 50 years. The other side established communication with us because they wish to stay in touch with this dimension. They are our teachers, the invisible knowledge that helps us on our way. They have much to share and hope that those who listen will reflect on their messages.
Welcome to Renee's Butcher the Name of Your Town. Thanks for listening. Algiers, Algeria, Saguenay, Quebec, Canada, Prague, Czech Republic, Clananga, Colombia, Paris, France, Rouen, France, Luce, France, Jacos, Brazil, Curacaba, Chile, Krakow, Poland, Nicosia, Cyprus, Lunéville, France, Fitzroy, Australia, Cairo, Egypt, Marseille, France, Alvaro, Obregon, Mexico, Kearney, Maryland, Westlake Stevens, Washington, Coronel, Chile, Live Oak, Texas, South Suffolk, Virginia, and Hazebrouck, France. Again, I apologize if I butchered the name of your place, but that's just how it goes around here. That's how we roll. Okay, so funny story here. My husband has a lovely radio voice that deep and rich, just gives you goosebumps, but he cannot sing. Fingernails on a chalkboard. There's a rule in our house that he doesn't attempt to sing or dance. Elaine on Seinfeld. Imagine my surprise when Brian comes zipping through my office singing Faith, the George Michael mega hit. I saw the look on his face when he turned to sing to me, and I gave him the stink eye. Oops, and he continued on his way. I kept getting Faith in my head, not the earworm kind where you can't stop singing Muskrat Love. The one I get when my line's open, when someone's trying to contact me. So I asked Brian about the singing. Did you hear that song today? And he said that he hadn't, and he didn't know where it came from. Ah, I do. This episode is recorded live with a little timing tweak for a better listening experience. George Michael was an English singer, songwriter, and record producer. Born in 1963, Michael was a leading creative force in music production, songwriting, vocal performance, and visual presentation. He's regarded as one of the greatest artists of the late 20th century and an icon of pop culture. Is this you, George Michael? George said, yes, it is I. Did you send a message through my husband? George said, yes, I did. I was hoping you would pick it up. I did, but I wanted to see if it were really you coming through. George said, I'm here. I'm so excited. We're both fans of your music. George says, thank you. It never gets old hearing that you made an impression. Thank you for sharing your wonderful talent. And George says, and now you're sharing yours. Yes, I'm so happy to be able to help those on your side to communicate. There's so much more to say. George says, yes, there is. And in the state the world is in now, they need it more than ever. George, I want to give people your story about your passing and transition. I believe that this is the information they need to know. We know about your life here. We want to know about your existence there. George said, oh, it is so lovely here. No worries, no fears. Can you take us from where you passed? You were in bed, right? George says, yes. It was Christmas Eve, and I was alone. I wasn't feeling that well and went to bed. never woke up there again. Can you describe the experience for us? George says, I woke up in this place. I thought I was dreaming, but I was awake. There was a voice that told me to relax. I was safe. All would be revealed in due time. I was in a valley with beautiful flowers and trees. I felt like Dorothy in Oz. After a short time, I think, some relations came to me and explained that I was now home. It was odd because I was at peace with that. I wasn't afraid. I was relieved, really. No more body. And I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. There are no demands here. You live as you like. Well, what do you do there, George? We are busy, despite the angel and harp jokes. We have duties that we choose, and we are offered education and many other things. I am like the rest. We mentor and help you there, which is the most satisfying for us. We associate and play music, not what you think of music, but it has its loveliness. There's so much more to your eternal life than the experience on earth. Think of it as a super mall with unlimited stores. There are so many experiences that you can choose to have, more than I can even express. I am grateful for my experience there. I was able to learn lessons, and now I can move on. Will you come here again? George says, no, I don't think it's necessary, especially now. The state of the earth is unknown. It is a very severe time. Oh, Brian's decided to join us. George says, Brian, so glad you got my message. I wasn't sure if you would catch on.
I've learned never to sing in front of Renee, so right there I was possessed, and that got Renee's attention.
George says, well, we all appreciate what you have done for artists and music. You have made a difference in many here, more than you know. You will continue this journey in a different way, but you will always be tied to music.
Well, that's comforting to know because I'm going to die with a song in my head. I just love music.
Not so soon, though. You have the time to create what you desire. You just have to have faith.
I'm very big on faith.
George says, is there anything that I can do for you?
Help me focus on what I need to do.
George says, do you meditate? I will come to you in meditation, and you are always welcome to contact me if you are able.
I will contact you tomorrow when I meditate.
George says, looking forward to speaking with you. I may have some suggestions for you.
Looking forward to it.
George says, toodles. Okay. Well, that was really nice. Thank you. George says he's never gotten his due. I hope this project will bring him the recognition he deserves, and you are also due. You have a good heart and soul. Oh, George, what do you think of mankind now that you have the big picture, and what advice do you have? George says, well, if it were up to me, I'd tear it down and start again. But that's not how it works. Everything is part of the bigger picture, and mankind must go through what is planned, no matter how difficult. Some of the problems that you endure are because of the lack of education about this dimension. You have been discussing this, and we are glad you are raising this topic. So many are so unconscious, and I include myself. I always felt there was more, but I allowed myself to act as a human rather than an enlightened being. I allowed the ego to run most of that life. Well, you have the stage. Talk to mankind. George says, this is only one small part of your existence. Live like you are eternal, like you are enlightened. This human is only a blink of an eye in the whole scope of things. If you understand that you are only here for a short time to learn and grow, not to become rich and live a selfish life, there would be less conflict and more love. Money is useless. It seems like the most important thing when you're there, but it isn't. Make less money and be happier, and treat your fellow man with love and respect. We are all of the same family. Since you left so unexpectedly, do you have any messages for those you left behind? George says, I visit there. Keep an eye on things. I will speak to those I care for when they get here. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? George says, may I contact you if I want to say more? Of course. Please do. I welcome you. George says, thank you. And tell Brian not to sing my song again. Oh, that's done. By the way, Elvis said the same thing. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks for joining us. Join Celebrity Souls Speak on Facebook at facebook.com/The Celebrity Souls Speak. And check out Renee's blog at commonsenseinwilmingtonnc.blogspot.com. Sense spelled CENTS.